G'day and welcome to The Tackle. I'm Joel Gelding and I, truthfully, have got a medal named after me in my honour at my old high school for football.
Whoa, Joel.
I wish it was for talent, but unfortunately, my old radio station, I used to provide chocolate milks to the local footy team. So they named the medal in my honour.
Well, that is an honour, my friend. Well,
is there a Shaun McManus medal?
I don't think I've given out choc chills, so perhaps there's one out there. Inform me if you know where it is.
The ball is in your court, primary schools. Name it after. Get a Shaun McManus medal going. Lots to talk about on The Tackle this week. We'll start things off. Friday night footy, I reckon this was the game of the round, me personally. Essendon v Carlton. The Blues dominated in the first half, Shawnee, but couldn't get the job done.
Well, Joel, they actually dominated for 3 quarters, in fact, and it wasn't until late in the third quarter where Essendon just nailed one against the flow of the game. If you cannot score when you've got your chance and the play, then you're going to give the opposition every chance of knocking you off. And this is what happened with Essendon getting over the top in this one.
Yeah, and they pulled another sneaky win. This is like the 5th time they've done it this year. Come from nowhere. A lot of people before this game were talking about Joe Danihers' debut. What did you think of the 287-centimetre forward/ruckman?
Well, he's going to be a great player in the future. He was just out there, in my opinion. Yeah. He was just out there. The commentators talked him up the whole way. He's going to be a player of the future, but you didn't really do anything.
Yeah. Plus, he's about 20 kilos wringing wet.
Yes, he is.
So, have a couple of burgers, Joe. There you go. We'll take a look at this, though. This is probably the best moment of the game. In the end, I think they were up by only a couple of points, and then Carlisle took this game to seal it for the Bombers.
Try and look inboard a little bit. Just don't kick it down the line.
Where's Waite? Carlisle.
Oh!
Good call, Tom.
Oh, Tommy.
We'll move on to our next game, Sydney versus Adelaide. Now, as a Crow supporter, this is definitely not one of the highlights of the week for me, but I think, Shawnee, it's fair to say, for Sydney Swans fan, they'd be loving seeing the footage of this game.
Quite a statement game, really, wasn't it? They were dominant from the opening bounce all the way through the game. They were clinical. I always wondered how John Longmire would go replacing such a great coach in Paul Roos. They have not missed a beat. He's won a premiership with this team. They look every bit of premiership favourites this year too.
The young kids are doing well, and then people talk about Tippett's got to come in now. Where do you put him? Shaw, LRT.
Yeah.
They've got all this talent sitting on the sidelines, and they're beating the Crows by almost 100 points. It's scary.
They were absolutely outstanding. Dan Hanbury was amazing, by the way. He had 28 possessions at half time. Kurt Tippett coming back into the team is going to be a plus. Reece Shaw. LRT, I don't see a position for him, to be honest. He's always been a bit of a battler, in my opinion.
Okay.
With Kurt Tippett coming in, bringing an extra tall, where do you put another guy of his size? We'll wait and see how that goes. But they were outstanding, Joel.
It's a decent problem to have, isn't it, with all that talent? Let's have a look at this goal by Morton, which I think was easily the one of the weekend.
Under the boot. Oh, Morton! He made that up as he went along.
Final game we're going to take a look at. We have to, obviously. We're contracted by the state of Western Australia to talk about the West Coast Eagles. They needed to beat St Kilda, and for a while it didn't look like it was going to happen, Shawnee, almost for the entire game.
Once again, it was similar to the Carlton-Essendon game. St Kilda just dominated this, and if you're a St Kilda supporter, you would be cry. I'd say throw your jumper away. Get rid of your scarf, throw on your membership, because they tried their hearts out, Joel. West Coast Eagles did not play well. Their heart does not seem to be in it at the moment. Do you agree with that call?
Definitely, yeah. They just don't look like they want to win.
But St Kilda were trying, and they still couldn't win.
Yeah.
Nick Riewoldt missed the ball 4 times in the goal square trying to soccer the ball, but what about Lee Montagna running into an open goal with 2 teammates? And that would have sealed it.
It would have sealed it, but the goal that did seal it was this one. And have a look at the St Kilda defender who's just on his tail, and I think the grass exploded underneath him and he tripped over. This is what won it for the West Coast Eagles.
The flick on works. Outside of the boot riser. This is Tunnel. McKenzie's pumping hard. Meister falls. This is for the lead. McKenzie, open goal. This is crazy good.
And there you go, West Coast steal that, and Shaun McManus thinks that you should throw your jumper out if you're a St Kilda supporter, and after looking at that, okay, well, that's it for the 3 games that we want to take a look at. Because it's halfway through the year, we're in round 11, I thought we'd take a look at where the ladder is sitting at right now after 11 rounds, Shawnee. Now, the top 8, let's have a look at it. Who is sitting there right now that's probably going to get booted out in the next 11 rounds, and who's going to sneak in that maybe is in the bottom half?
Yeah, I reckon the ones to look out for are West Coast and Carlton, who are sitting 7th and 8th at the moment. Richmond are the ones who are just chomping at the heels, should I say. an opportunity to come back in to the top 8 in the next few weeks. They're the ones. And Adelaide, they're a team that can put together a list of winning games. They're a team who could challenge. So I could only see that the way West Coast have got, in the next month or so, they've got Fremantle, Essendon, Hawthorn, Sydney.
Horrible
that is a tough
draw.
month to come. They could be finding themselves in 8th or 9th position in the next couple of weeks.
And let's finally take a look at the weekend's highest players for Dream Team points. And as we can see, Sydney, who clearly had a dominant game against Adelaide, 3 of their players are in the top 5.
Yeah, Ryan O'Keefe, which we know he's been an outstanding player for years. Also, Dan Hanbury, I mentioned earlier on. Tom Mitchell, now he's the son of Barry Mitchell, who used to be a coach for me at Fremantle a few years ago.
Yep.
His son Tom, who played under-18s for WA, is playing for Sydney under the father-son rule, and he was dominant. I've got to say, Joel, he's one of the most outstanding natural footballers I've ever seen.
Yeah, it cost $108,000 in Dream Team and made 144 points, so that is an absolute steal.
And we didn't mention Jarrod Waite, who kicked 5 goals for Carlton on Friday night, and it was probably 1 goal not enough
I think he
to win
kicked
the
7,
game.
did he?
Did he in the end? Holy shit.
Kicked a few sausage rolls. Well, there you go. That is the tackle done and dusted for another week. It's bye round, so there's only another 5 games this weekend, so it's a bit disappointing, but we will be back next Monday. See you then.
Nova.